Hey guys, it's your boy Don Zizi from Allnaijabeats again. I hope you like my new introductory video. I changed the old one to this new one. I made it in Adobe After Effects and Adobe Premiere Pro. I spent the whole of Christmas and New Year just trying to learn, how to make that kind of intro video. That beat in the intro video was also a recent beat I made, and I decided to use it for the intro video. So I hope you like it. So today I'm gonna teach you something very important in mixing and also in mastering, but I'll be focusing on something that we all know is a problem, and that's the issue of translation. So a lot of times you make a mix, it sounds perfect in your studio, and then you take it out to your car and you're disappointed, and then you start thinking about your life. Why did I even go into music? Or you go play it in church, it's played on the big PA system, or it's played on stage during a stage performance, and your song just sounds so small and so different and so weak, and the whole mix just falls apart. It doesn't sound as good as it was in the studio. There are several reasons for this, but the most important is that what you hear in your studio usually is a controlled environment, and you usually don't have enough treatment and acoustic, sort of like setup in your studio to allow you to hear exactly the sound that you're supposed to hear. So what happens is your decisions during mixing are made based on what you hear in your studio, and a lot of times those decisions are not correct. And when you take the mix and play it elsewhere where the setup is different, then what you hear is very different. So there are certain ways you can ensure that whatever you mix in the studio translates into a good mix in the real world. And one of those things is referencing. And I always tell people that if you make a song in isolation without referencing, the chances that you're going to have a good mix are very slim, except you're one of the super mix engineers in the world, like the Dave Pensandos, and the Manny Marroquins and people like that. If you're not like that, I tell you, you have to take a standard reference song and you have to compare it with your song to be sure that your song really sounds, like it should sound. The problem again with direct referencing is that sometimes the reference itself is affected by what you hear in your studio, and it's sometimes hard to really, ensure that, for instance, the bass plays very well when you take it to different platforms. If it's played on a phone or a laptop, instead, on stage in your car. So in addition to referencing, I'm going to show you a mixing hack, which I mentioned in my most recent video on why your mixes don't sound professional. This mixing hack is really going to help you, and big shout out to Isotope for bringing out this plugin, which I'd say has really, really helped. So this plugin is called the Isotope Tonal Balance Control. So I'm going to be showing you how I use the plugin to ensure that my mixes translate in the real world. So I have a song here from my artist A+. You heard him on a couple of recent songs, and A+ is really good. And I've done some preliminary, the song is still very raw. It was recorded right here in FL Studio. I did put some effects on the vocals, like auto-tune, an EQ, DSR, compressor, delay, reverb. But yeah, I just put a preset. I haven't really taken my time to mix the song. There's no parallel compression. I haven't mixed. Basically, all the other channels are empty. But I just want to show you how, you can just help your mix to translate in the real world. And the first thing is I'm going to play you the song so that you get a feel of what it sounds like.
I thought I told you it's A+, baby, oh. Don't see easy, do the beat in the fire. Through the rain and the stormy weather, I'll be there to hold you down. When you cry, call me, I'll be there to like that, oh. Her body know they tire me. Shabby, I tell you, say, yeah. Her body know they tire me. Her body know they tire me, oh. Her body know they tire me. Sometimes it all falls back to what we do for love.
Okay, so you get the idea. It's an Afro-pop song. It's quite cool. I really like the vibe. So because we haven't really mixed or mastered the song, I'm just going to make it sound good by putting in Fruity Sound Goodizer. Yeah, that's a pun, right? Sounds good with a sound goodizer. Anyways, sound goodizer. Yeah. So the sound goodizer normally makes the sound it's like a pre-mastering sort of, plugin. But I'm just going to turn this.
I thought I told you it's A+, baby, oh. Don't see easy, do the beat in the fire. Through the rain and the stormy weather, I'll be there to hold you down.
Okay, so it sounds good, right there.
Hold you. Her body know they tire me. Her body know they tire me. I like 'em like that, too.
So why I put the sound goodizer is just to put a sort of, like a mastering preset so that the song already sounds sort of loud and bright and, bassy and everything. But yeah, next thing we want to do is to bring in the Isotope balance control. Usually I use it as the second to the last or the last plugin on my master chain. So I'm going to bring out the Tonal Balance, starts with a T, Tonal Balance control. Yes, this is it. So this is what it looks like. It has some curves. I'm just going to start with the default one, which is called Modern. You can see I've created a lot of presets. I've created my own curves from popular songs, and where I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. So the tonal balance control is the best thing to happen to translation of mixes. I can assure you that if you can get your mix to fall within this green, or is it blue-green areas, your mix is going to sound good. But then again, you need to choose a reference that will determine where you want the ranges to be. So let's pick a reference. I'm going to pick a reference that does not sound like this song, or I don't want my song to sound like that reference, just to show you how it can sound, how the reference ranges can look different from what you're really going for. Then I'm going to pick a song that sounds similar to how I want my song to sound, and then we try to aim and see if we can fit within the curve ranges. So you go to create custom target curve from audio file, or you can even create from a folder of audio files if you like. So this one is really great. You can pick like 10 very good Afro-pop mixes, put in one folder, and just create a curve from that folder. So anytime you mix an Afro-pop song, you try to make sure it falls within that range. I like to do it per song, because when you do it for a folder, it gives you a very wide range like you have here. I like to have a narrow range so that, I can really be sure that my song sounds like that song. So this is the broad view. And then you can also go to the fine view, which also shows you, if you're, the narrow frequency ranges for the whole song, and if you have some parts of your song going outside of that range. So I'm gonna just create a custom target curve from an audio file, and if you like, you can save whatever curve you have created, right? So let's create one. I have a folder of Nigerian songs here, and a couple of other African songs and foreign songs. So I'm going to take I have Mayokun's Mama here, which doesn't have the vibe of my own song, but I'm just going to use it to show you. So you go to open, it loads here, and then it shows you this is the range. So when I play my song,
rain and the stormy weather, I'll be there to hold you down.
So my song is still playing, I just muted it. So the first thing you notice is that my song has much more bass than the reference song. this is not a problem. It depends on the kind of bass you are going for. Sometimes one engineer can mix 10 songs and all the 10 songs would have different frequency ranges because that's what the engineer wants, right? But what you want is to ensure that your balance between all the four curves, that's the low, mid, the high, mid, and the high, they're in line with the standard reference. You also see that my low mid is not as rich as that of the song. My high mid is okay, it's within the range. My highs are just at the edge, slightly higher than this reference song. But like I said, this is not the song I'm going for. What I'm going for is Davido's Fall. Money Fall on You. I can't play the song, so YouTube doesn't take down my video. So I'm gonna create I'm going to go to Davido Fall, and then I open it, and it's loading, and then you can see. Now right away, without even unmuting my song, you can already see that we are within the range of Davido's song. And for me, this works perfectly. What I just need to do is to make minor adjustments, right? Because as you can see, the bass, my bass is still, some parts of my bass still go above that of the reference song. You can see my low mids are still a bit weak as well. My highs are doing well, a bit dropping out, but that's fine because this Davido song has really sharp highs, and that's not what I'm going for. So I can leave that. High mids, perfect, right in the middle. So what we're gonna do is, let me play the song.
Through the rain and the stormy weather, I'll be there to hold you down.
So as you can see, this is the Isotope Ozone 8 equalizer. So Isotope has made it easy to link any Isotope module straight into the tonal balance control. So I'm just going to close this back to tonal balance control, and I'm going to go to select plugin, and then I choose EQ1. Sorry. Okay, now you see that the EQ has appeared right here. The song is still playing. We can look at the ranges, and then we can look at the EQ curve right here. Okay, so I have Davido's Fall already saved, so I don't need to save it again. So I'm just going to go to the preset Davido Fall. I'm just going to choose that preset. So like I said, the bass is slightly higher, but the low mid is slightly lower. The mid highs and the highs seem to be perfect. You remember that your song is playing in real time, so as it changes from one part of your song to another part of your song, you might see some differences in terms of, like right now my bass looks like it's within the range, but then it's going a bit up. So what I'm going to do firstly is to grab this low shelf, and I'm just going to make it digital. Yeah, make it surgical, sorry. And I'm just going to take down some bass while I play the song. So you can watch all my moves as I play the song and how I try to fit the song within the ranges.
I thought I told you it's A+, baby. Oh. Don't see easy, do the beat now fire. Through the rain and the stormy weather, I'll be there to hold you down. When you cry, call me, I'll be there to make you smile.
So our bass seems to be corrected. You see now the bass is perfect. I turned it down in the EQ, and it's now almost perfectly in the center of the range we're going for. Then
rain and the stormy weather.
Okay, still playing. Now, so our bass seems to be fine. Now our low mids sometimes drop below that of the reference song. So I'll just look for the right frequency in the low mids, and I'll gauge that as well.
Told you, body know the tire me. Her body know the tire me. I like 'em like that, too. Body know the tire me. Her body know the tire me. Baby, I tell you, say the tire me. Yeah, her body know the tire me. 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 Sometimes it all falls back to what we do for love. Eh. the thing they do me, how you catch my heart. Baby, please, no forget to. I'm your one and only friend. If you want to go, you can say whatever. Pain and the storm you.
So you can see right away that our low mid is now perfect. It's now within the range, and it also sounds good. I made a bump in the 550 hertz range, about 3 decibels, which is quite harsh. But remember again, that's because this song is not mixed, so most of the EQ moves that we make are going to be drastic. But if you have mixed the song, normally you would just go maybe 1 or 1.5 or 0.5 decibels, to balance the EQ. And you can see now that we're almost perfectly within range for all the 4 curves. So at this point, I'm just going to switch to fine. And then we can look at fine and see if there's still any frequencies we need to tackle.
I'm your one and only friend. If you want to go, you can
Watch
say
this
whatever.
side.
I go listen over. But be sure to talk to me before you go sleep. We can talk about love, talk about us. We against them, and them against us. Baby, believe me, make you get trust. I will always hold your heart. Rain and the stormy weather, I'll be there to hold you down, 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 down. Baby, when you cry, call me. I'll be there to make you smile. I thought I told you. Body know they tire me. Her body know they tire me. I like 'em like that, though. Baby know they tire me. Her body know they tire me.
So you can see straight away that I've corrected something here. Before it was jumping above, but I managed to cut this frequency, and then now it's fine. Same thing I've done here as well. I moved this back a bit to go along with the original curve of the reference. We could even go back a bit. So essentially now we're good. If you look at broad, the fine view, and if you go to the broad view, essentially we're fine.
When you cry, call me. I'll be there to make you smile.
Interestingly, it sounds really good as well. You see, remember what they say about mixing. Don't mix with your eyes, mix with your ears. But the truth is that sometimes your ears deceive you because your studio is not well treated. So you need to mix with both your eyes and your ears. And this, what we're doing right now, is mixing with our eyes and ensuring that the frequency balance of the song falls within the range that we want. So that's essentially it. If you have any question, if you need some clarification, you can shoot me an email, allnaijabeats@gmail.com. As usual, if you need beats, if you need me to mix for you, to master for you, if you need me to write a song for you, just anything that is music related, just holla, send an email to allnaijabeats@gmail.com, and I'll definitely reply you. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Bye.